everybody. Welcome, NorCal Sports Network. Giants get a big win. Kind of the band. Let the band play for a little bit.
Let it go a little bit.
It's not often we get to enjoy the band after a victory. Maybe we need a little bit more, maybe a little more rock.
No.
All right, everybody. Giants win, and it was actually a pretty well played game to actually to watch. Bora was enjoying the game as far as entertainment. I should have probably turned the volume down. I had to listen to just obnoxious homerism. You should pull up my Twitter.
In fact, we'll get now.
Pull up my Twitter and we'll get to that. Let's get to the box score first. But hey, guys, we're brought to you by NorCal Sports Network and Flex Funding. If you guys have a need, just give us a call. Ticker is at the bottom. That's enough of that there. We're heard here on YouTube and Twitter, or X now. Also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So we got you covered on the social needs. Box score tonight. Top of the order. Didn't do too much as far as Wade and Fitzgerald and Conforto. But when you get to the 4 spot, Ramos had a nice double. Hit the ball, 104 miles an hour off the bat. Smoked it. Chapman had a great night.
He had a great night at the plate.
Yeah, 3 homers. A nice solo homer to get him. I think that got him tied up 2-2, right? I think it was, yeah. They were down 2-1. Chapman tied it up and then got another hit that the right fielder, Frelick, saved, turning it from a sure double, it looked like. His diving on the ground, sliding up, getting up. That was impressive. But Chapman then gets another hit. So he has a good night at the plate. Yaz with the big bomb of the night, the clutch 2-run homer to basically be the winning runs for the Giants. Estrada got robbed of a homer, maybe the play of the year. That was a beautiful catch by the center fielder Perkins out there for Milwaukee. And then McCrae hits a bomb. Did he get a hold of that one?
He has power. He has sneaky power.
I like this kid. And we know Cody from Even Your Dynasty shows talked this kid up and has been really high on Grant McCrae, and he plays a really good center field. He really gets good jumps, Bora.
Oh, he does. He's a natural center fielder. He plays with instinct. He has speed. He has a good arm. He has all you want in a center fielder. And if he continues to put out this offensive production, it's going to be, well, it's not going to be interesting because I think Lee's their center fielder. But McCrae, I like McCrae too. It's not something we have to worry about now. If it comes up in the future, you have.
I think Lee looks like your left fielder. He's got the weakest arm between McCrae and Ramos. No doubt.
Probably.
Yeah. Plus, Lee's, it's scary out there how acrobatic. He's already had 2 shoulder surgeries. Man, I don't know. But if McCrae can be a player, it's early. They haven't figured out any of his spots yet. It's the first time around through a lot of teams. I'm not saying he's not going to be a big league hitter, but he's never been a big hitter in the minors.
No, exactly. Some players just know how to turn it on.
Right. Right.
We saw it with Casey Schmidt 2 years ago.
Yeah. But it was a well played game. Webb didn't really have his stuff tonight. It could have been due to the coming off of it looks like he's had a respiratory virus. It sounds like you could hear it in his voice. That takes I mean, I'm still dealing with congestion and, crap in my chest for 6 weeks. Stuff doesn't seem to go away. And then the humidity, you could see all the uniforms. They were drenched tonight. It was all the players. They were just like, that's just yucky feeling. You've played in that. It's
you don't really want to move around.
Yeah, you just feel like. Have you ever guys had been in a rainstorm and your clothes are all soaked, and everything's clinging to you? I mean, imagine that trying to play a game like that. It's not fun. Not fun at all. I always loved to play in warm weather, about 80 degrees with little humidity. To me, that was perfect.
I loved playing in the hot games. I loved playing in the 90 degree game.
True. That's true. Easy to stretch out, right? I mean, you get loose really quick. I never had a problem playing in heat, just because, you drink a lot of fluids and you just, heck, you're playing a game. It's fun. I mean, especially if you enjoy playing the game, it's really fun. It's really fun. Robert Rothberg says, does Chapman ever take a day off? No, not much. That's one of the
good things. Yeah,
it's a good quality he has. He's reliable. He's going to show up, and it's something you definitely can appreciate about a guy. So I'm just not keen. I'm okay with Chapman for a new 2-3 year deal if they add players, but if they bring back the same group or add mid-level guys, team's going nowhere. I'm serious. You got to have a couple of star players.
Exactly. Going back to the box score, Doval, he gets the win, but he looked a little shaky. Still more inconsistencies.
2 base on balls
with the walks and the control issues. Landon Roop didn't look great. He didn't look bad though.
He walked a couple though in 2/3 of an inning. Yeah.
That curveball though is good. It's legit.
Yeah. Yes. I agree.
Then Tyler Rogers comes in, pitches an inning and third, does his job. I was really impressed with the way he held the runner on first. He played the pitch clock down every pitch. He played the pitch clock. It was down to about 4 or 3 seconds. Then he would mix up his timing with the pitch clock, and he would also mix up when he would throw over, because after one batter comes up, you get
2 more engagements.
It resets. Yeah. That was a positive I saw from him. And then Ryan Walker came in and shut it down. Ryan Walker's
he's lights out right now.
He's lights out, and if he just looks so confident. The thing I love about Ryan Walker that I haven't loved about Camilo Doval is the confidence level. You can just see the confidence level, and he gets strike one. He attacks. He wants to get ahead of you. He has that closer mentality of, you know what, here's my best stuff against your best stuff. Let's see if you can hit it.
Yeah.
And that's something you need. You don't need any finesse, or finesse is good in a bullpen, but a lot of times as a closer, you need to be that gritty guy, that kind of crazy guy who just goes right after you.
Reminds me what you said, going right after the guy. Remember the Gagne Bonds battle?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I left a message for Greg Gagne today to come on the show. I don't know if we'll get him or not. No promise. I just left him a message. Hopefully he'll call back. And I mentioned that in my message to him. I says, I loved that battle, that you going against Barry, and so
best
anyway,
on best.
Yeah, best on best. So who knows? Maybe we'll hear back from Greg Gagne. But guys, the game tonight, even though it's kind of bittersweet, because the Mets are killing the Padres and the Braves won again. So
should we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard?
Yeah, let's take a look at the scoreboard here and pull that up. Now, You got it? Or
I got it. Yeah.
okay. All right, here we go. As you see, the Giants 5-4 win, but games that affected the Giants, if you could blow that up over there, the third to the column. The Mets are crushing the Diamondbacks 8-3. It was 8-0 until just a bit ago when D-backs scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th. So even though the Diamondbacks are ahead of the Giants, the Mets are the team directly above the Giants. So you got to catch one first before you can catch the others. So the Mets are winning, and the Atlanta Braves.
Cubs are winning too.
Ooh, Cubs are winning, staying
Look at
right
the Cubs
behind.
record.
Yeah, the Cubs are now 67-66, tied with the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. They caught them. And had the Giants lost tonight, they would have fallen behind. Cardinals lost to the what's that?
Padres.
Wait a minute. Is this tonight? Oh,
Yeah.
Padres. Yes. I'm getting myself confused with Pirates and Padres. Okay. I saw the P there. Yeah. Padres win again. And that's going to probably tie them with Arizona, I believe, for second place. Padres are now 76-58, 18 over 500. You see the Braves beat the Twins 8-6. They continue to win. That's one less game left on the schedule.
Braves scored 4 in the 10th.
Yeah. Giants are still 7 games technically behind the Atlanta Braves because the Braves have to lose 7 more games for the Giants to overtake them. And the Giants won game 1 tonight with 30 left, now 29. They need to now go. What are the Braves? What's their record?
72-60.
Okay, Braves, if they win 85 games, that means they only have to go 13 and let's see. Where are we at? Braves are okay. Let's say the Braves have to win 86 games. That means they go 14-16 in their remaining 30 to finish 86-76. 14-16. The Giants now have 67 wins. They would have to win 20 games. They'd have to go 20-9 to finish 87-75. 20-9 while the Braves go 14-16. Guys, not happening. Period. If it happens, it'll be somebody has come down and set a bunch of rose petals on top of Farhan's head. I mean, yeah. I still don't think this team finishes 500 with the schedule they got remaining, Bora, and the pitching that they have. I mean, you lost Robbie Ray. You have Patrick Bailey out. Now you're really down to you're scrapping. I mean, you won tonight, Logan Webb pitch, right? So you expect to hopefully win when Webb pitches. But tomorrow night, the pitching matchups.
Kyle Harrison
tomorrow night against Freddie Peralta. 65% to 35%. Of course, Brewers were pretty much favored tonight, but, didn't win, obviously. And then Thursday in the morning game at 11:10, it's going to be Hayden Birdsong against Aaron Savali. So, again, another 63.5 to 36.5. The Brewers were lined up for a sweep. They really were. Mm-hmm. And, you could see they're the better team. But, Giants, you take these wins. The Giants really shouldn't even be looking at the scoreboard at this point. They should just be trying to win every game.
Just keep on stacking wins. Get a win 1, win 2, win 3, win 4. Just focus on the wins.
Right. Forget what's going on the scoreboard. You need to win a minimum. They probably need to win seriously to make the playoffs. I'm going to say realistically,
I think they need to take 2 out of 3 from pretty much every series.
They need to win. I said 20-9 in the remaining 29. I think it's more like 22 Seriously. You can't expect the Braves to go under 500. You can't count on the Braves. That's why I say the Giants just have to win. They have to win. And exactly 87 wins, 22 wins they're what, 67 and 66, Bora? What was it?
67.
They're 67?
60, yeah, 67 and 66.
Yeah, I think it's going to take 80, probably 88 wins, maybe.
It might even take 89 because, I mean, the Braves, we're talking about the Braves. They're the last wild card spot. The Braves are the team that you have to overtake. I mean, they have experience. They have a World Series title. They've been in the playoffs. They have experience, and they know how to win games. Their coaching staff is great. Their developmental system is great. Their GM is great. Everything about the Braves organization is pretty good. And they know how to win ball games. I mean, who do they have out? Acuna's out. Strider's out. Albies is out. Riley's out. I mean, their whole Michael Harris was out for a stretched amount of time during the season. They've had so many injuries, and to still be able to be in that third wild card spot with a record of 72 and 60 is just a testament to their coaching staff and how well they know how to win games.
It really is, because you think about that. They were a game and a half in front of the Giants when they came here a couple weeks ago, and they were reeling. The Braves were on a 8 out of 10 losing streak. They just left Colorado. They blew games in Colorado. Their bullpen was thrashed in Colorado, which happens to a lot of teams. And they come in here to San Francisco and win the first 3 games. And I mean, that's what championship guys do. And they lost Albies, and they just recently signed Whit Merrifield, who's, played with the Royals in the World Series. He's been around. He's a older guy. He's a vet, but he knows how to win. He's not the greatest player anymore, but what you're talking about, these guys have the heart. They know what it takes. They got to do. And then they brought in Gio Urshela to help replace Riley, but they should get Ozzie Albies back around mid-September, and that could give them a spark. Their pitching, they've got Fried and they got Sale and they got Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to, and then they got the mean closer, Iglesias.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and they have the experienced Charlie Morton.
Yeah. Morton hasn't pitched very consistently, but he can give you a game when you need it. The guy's like, so.
Dan, I want to ask your opinion on this, because today we saw Grant McCrae. He had a good game, but we kind of saw what he can do. He can hit the home run. He can go. He has tremendous power. He stole a base. He can steal bases. He tried to lay down a bunt, so we know he can do that. He looked good in center. He also struck out 2 times on the same pitch, pretty much. Fastball high, right around the letters, waist to the letters. Cody, when Cody was on with us about a week or 2 ago, he had said it. The one thing that Grant McCrae needs to do is lower his strikeout rate. And I think if he can do that, then he could be a real player. But he's batting in the 8 hole right now. And
right.
I'm fine with it. Don't get me wrong. But if he's going to be batting in the lower half of the lineup, I would prefer him to be batting in the 9th position, just to be that second leadoff hitter. We saw it today. Grant McCrae got on. I think he walked. He stole second. Then Kurt Casale struck out. So he was runner at second with Lamont Wade. I think there was like a balk.
Mm-hmm. That's right. The balk.
That moved McCrae to third, and then Lamont Wade hit a grounder, I think, and brought him in. If that balk didn't happen, Lamont Wade would have grounded out to whatever. McCrae probably would have advanced, and then Fitzgerald struck out after that.
Right, so right. They were fortunate. The guy tripped on the mound.
Exactly.
He lost his footing.
I think McCrae being in that second leadoff spot, the 9 hole, could really be value to this team, because if he can get on base, he could be an automatic guy that can get to second, that can get into scoring position. We've talked about it before, how valuable it is to have a speedster get on first and then immediately be in scoring position. With that rolling over to the top of the lineup where your best hitters are, Wade, Fitzgerald, Ramos, Chapman, Conforto, all the top hitters on this team, it could set them up to score more runs.
Right. And Robert says we need to evaluate McCrae after the league. It's time to adjust to him. Absolutely. And Mark Graves says, Bora, that's why young players need at bats to learn pitchers' tendencies.
Exactly. Yeah.
They definitely need more at bats. This is why, you've wasted a year, in my opinion, of Luciano and, for that matter, Matos, because, you got Yaz playing these games, but you're not going to make the playoffs. And you've just, we said this at the trade deadline. Go ahead and trade Snell. You're not going to make the playoffs. You're going to end up, he's going to walk and you're going to get nothing for him. And you lost a draft pick to sign him.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically have just screwed with the team. I mean, you should have traded Conforto at the trade deadline because you could have got a prospect for him. I don't know, wouldn't have been a top 100 prospect, but it would have been you probably could have got somebody's 10th, top 10, 8 to 12 prospect.
It was a seller's market.
Exactly. Market. I mean, the Mets would have loved to probably have had a reunion with Conforto, but Giants didn't do anything, and so they went after Jesse Winker. And the Mets, it's going to be an exciting finish. The Mets and the Braves, I think, are going to look as those two teams battle. They're going to be playing like it's playoff baseball for the rest of the season.
And they're going to be in that mode.
They're in that mode now.
Mm-hmm.
There's 30 games to go roughly for each team. What were the Mets record again? What was
Mets are 68 and 63.
68 and 63.
And the Cubs behind the Mets are 67 and 66.
Okay, so the Mets have 31 left. The Braves are 72 and 60.
Yep.
So they have 30 left. And the Giants have 29 left.
I don't it's not a hot take or anything to say that the Giants aren't going to make the playoffs. It's just, if you're just take your homerism, your bias aside, just look at the standings, look at the teams ahead of you, look at who they're playing, look at their history and everything. You can see that it's gonna be a very tough and uphill battle for the Giants to even have a shot at the playoffs. It's too much too late. I mean, they wasted their opportunity.
They blew games that counted early on in the season, which I told you, a bunch of games, a game here and a game there. They were, screwing around, not, it just, they lost a lot of games that they should have won. And, so anyway,
we put out a video today. Anybody who hasn't seen it, Jordan Hicks was not sent down. He was IL'd for 15 days with right shoulder inflammation.
He's not coming back this year.
No.
You're not going to – what are you going to do? Bring Jordan Hicks back for 2 weeks when you're almost mathematically eliminated? I mean, Come on. Jordan Hicks, it's something I told you guys would happen in the very beginning of the season when they said he was going to start. Others said it in the room. Eric, when he was on the channel, said the same thing. Bora said it. Los, we all said, look, Jordan Hicks, you can't push this guy beyond his limits. And my big thing is, you can get some starts out of him, and he was effective. First month of the season, he was an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the best pitchers in baseball. He was lights out for the first 4 or 5 starts. He was like amazing, and he was fresh. He was totally fresh, and he was pumped. And I said, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. Wait till you get closer to the break. He's going to wear out the innings. I said it over and over and over again on this show. Look at his innings. And I said, the one thing that concerns me is they're going to push him beyond his limits, and he's going to have arm issues. I figured possibly Tommy John, some type of ailment to his right arm, and it was going to affect his performance in the second half, and he would not be available. And bingo. I mean, Bora, I'm not even in Major League Baseball. I've never had a day one of experience.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that, Dan?
One day of experience of any executive level stuff. And how can I see it and not the regime of the San Francisco Giants? How do they miss on that? And how does Farhan push for, you got a starting pitch? How does this guy get a job? Seriously, how does this guy get a job at the highest level in the winningest franchise in Major League Baseball history? And the guy misses out on Ramos, doesn't trade Rodon, doesn't pick up anybody last year but A.J. Pollock, doesn't trade Snell this year, misses out on Fitzgerald for most of the year. And as I said, signs Hicks to be a starter, and we all could see it that this guy is not going to last. It's not possible to push yourself twice the amount of innings that you've ever pitched in a season. I think you said 100 earlier. I think it's more been around 75.
I looked it up. It was 77, I think.
Yeah, 77 innings. There's no way he's going to pitch 150 innings is what you really need out of a starter. If you have a good starter, you need 150 minimum innings. I mean, Logan Webb pitches 200 innings, which is considered the best in in baseball. Mm-hmm. You've got to get guys that can pitch 150 plus innings. I don't think Harrison. How many's Harrison got this year? 110
around there. I mean, Kyle Harrison. How many how much? What do you think he has?
I'd say 108.
108. He's pitched 117.
Wow. So is he going to make 150? He's starting to wear out, I think.
He is. And I mean, the thing is, he's 22 years old.
Right.
Birdsong's what, 22 as well?
Right around there, yeah.
These guys, you don't want to push these guys. These guys are your future. Kyle Harrison and Hayden Birdsong, along with Logan Webb, hopefully Blake Snell. I don't know what's going to happen. The next 3 or 4 years, though, it's going to be Logan Webb, Kyle Harrison, and Hayden Birdsong. If no one gets traded, it's going to be those guys who's going to be at the top of your rotation. I mean, you want these guys to have some longevity with this team. You don't want to just burn them out when they're 22. So it's going to take, there are some steps that they have to take. You can't just go from 0 to 100 right away. And they know that. The Giants know that. They're not going to push them overly. But that's the whole reason why you don't say we have the best starting rotation in baseball. You don't. I mean, Ray got injured, and even before he got injured, he was inconsistent. He would have a good game here, good game there, but I mean, he would also have bad games. You don't go out and say you have the best rotation and hope your team plays to that expectations. You're just kind of showing your cards, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to show your cards. You want to hold them in and see what you have. The thing that really irritates me is the overall philosophy with not valuing innings. Inning eaters are super valuable in this game. And I mean, Logan Webb's an elite innings eater. He's an all-star. He's one of the top 5-10 pitchers in baseball, whatever you want to say about that. He eats innings, and he also throws a lot and good games. He pitches good games. He has low ERA, everything. He gets ground balls. If you look at why Patrick Corbin's in the league still, I mean, he just had a good outing today. But I mean, the Nationals need someone to be able to eat innings. Teams need some starters to be able to eat innings because you don't want to be going into your bullpen all the time. That's exactly what happened last year. They didn't get innings eaters. Instead, they had one starting pitcher. They had Logan Webb for the whole year, and they were just supplementing different pitchers and different starters and different openers with their bullpen over and over again. And what happened last year? Their bullpen fizzled out. It was it was the best bullpen in the league for the first half of the season. And then towards the second half, as it came down to September, it fizzled out and guys' arms became weaker. They got tired. And that's what happens. I mean, you have to pace yourself, and you can't have the over. I mean, you would love to have the top 5 rotation where everybody throws 150 innings and everybody has an ERA under 4. But it just doesn't happen.
Right.
In those cases, you need someone to eat innings, and you just to take some wear and tear off all your other guys, and you can't keep on supplementing these guys with the bullpen.
That's why it was important that Snell start going deeper into games.
Exactly.
You know? Aaron Law says Farhan's teams are built to operate and compete for the third wild card to win just enough to give you some sort of hope through September. By then, they've taken everyone's money since March. Exactly. And Matthew says, hey, Dan and Bora, I always love the Bora shows. Yes.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah. Hey, and too much for Bijan Robinson there. Okay. Hey. You're giving up too much for Bijan. Okay.
You think so?
Don't read that one. Don't read that one. Asif coming at me. Love it when guys come at me like Asif. He says, what's going to take for Dan to be optimistic? Laughing out loud. Farhan fired? Basically. Basically.
And then he asked this, Dan, what's the plan after Farhan's fired? You keep saying fire him. Got to have a plan.
Oh, do I have a plan? I have a plan. I don't know if he's going to take it, but the guy I have the plan for will be on here in about 8 minutes. Ned Coletti would be an excellent general manager. He's a great motivator, teacher. He could train the next GM of the Giants. You don't need Ned to go 5-6 years. Give him 2 years. Look, he was a winning guy with Sabian. He was a winner in LA and, came very close to getting to the World Series in LA. When they hired him in 2005, LA was not doing well. Turned the franchise around, and then he drafted some great players. Some great players. So, guys, don't forget, Ned Coletti will be coming on NorCal Sports Network in 7 minutes. We're about ready to close this show out in about 5 minutes. We'll close it out just before the bottom of the hour. You'll get a new link. There's 100+ of you watching right now. So make sure you're ready for the new link that comes out with Ned. I want to pack the house for Ned, okay? So I want all of you watching. When we sign off here at 9:28, 9:29, in about 5 minutes, be ready to come back in with the new link. It's out there right now. I could actually show you the thumbnail. Let me show you the thumbnail here so you guys know what we're talking about. It's right there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Live. See the clock ticking? Live in 5:31, 5:30, 29, 28. Okay. There it is. We'll be live with Ned Coletti. All right.
Yeah, and guys, if you haven't checked out the Sean Estes show yesterday, it was a great interview. Sean gave Dan a lot of his time and a lot of insight into the game and into the Giants. If you haven't listened to that, listen to that because it was a great interview.
Yeah, and if you guys really want to know what the real plan is for the let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. The plan is to hire Matthew, okay? The plan is to hire Matthew and me. Why? Because let me show you the NorCal Sports Network Fantasy League standings up to date right there. Dodger Dan, domination leading, 87. Matthew, right there. The guy took the team from me. That's why he says, Matthew to the rescue, it was changed to, and he took the team from worst to first. So make Matthew the GM of the San Francisco Giants.
You just how to rebuild a roster.
Okay, Cliff says, Dan, let my $4.99 a month go to work for you and add a Sharks background for Ned. Ooh. How do we do that real quick? Do we have a Sharks background that we can grab and you can put it into the stream there, Laura?
I don't think so, no.
Don't we just go to Google and take a picture of it and then slide it in there into the overlay?
Into the thumbnail?
No, into an overlay on the background. Like we got the background here, these backgrounds. Like if we change this one that we're watching right now to Giants and we said, hey, you know what? Let's go to this Giants background. That background he's talking about. Can we get a Sharks background?
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, get a Sharks background. We'll throw that on there.
Okay.
We got to keep our members happy, man. I got to eat. Plan, Asif. Seriously, the plan is to hire an experienced president of baseball operations who's had success in the major leagues. And I don't care if they've been out of the game for 5-10 years or if they follow the game, they don't lose it. Okay. It's not like you have to be in the game right now to know what's going on. I mean, Farhan was in the game, and what had he done? What did Farhan ever do with the A's? He was a geek at the A's, right? He was a pencil charter. He was sitting there, head
of the analytics.
Yeah, I got my little chart right here. This guy grounds out with 2 strikes and he hits the ball to second base all the time. So those are the tendencies of this guy. And this guy, we see that with 2 strikes, he likes to try to pull the ball. So come on. And then he gets to the Dodgers, and Andrew Friedman's running the operation down there, guys. It has nothing to do with Farhan, the success of the Dodgers. Because look, if it was Farhan that brought the success to the Dodgers, he would have brought it here. Mm-hmm. He would have brought it here. They'd be winning right now. So guys,
and they're not.
This is going to be year 6 that they missed the playoffs, or 5 of 6. Mm-hmm. They got 21. I'll say. Sean Estes said it last night. They had Buster.
Yep. I'll say this, and then we'll head out.
Yep.
For me, I just want someone in charge who treats this team like a big market team. I want to see some stars. I want to see them go out and make risky moves for players. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see any more of this platoon bullshit.
Absolutely, guys. Hey, we're at the end of the show here. We'll be right back. Right around 9:30, we got Ned joining us. It might be a couple minutes, but you know what? Maybe we'll just go on and then we'll bring him in. Okay? That's what we should do. Is just come right on at 9:30. Ned will join us shortly after if he's not available right at 9:30. Mm-hmm. So, guys, Ned Coletti coming up. New channel. This show ends, but we open up a new link. Go to the new link and get into that one right now. We'll see you in 1 minute.